Hi, it's Marc from CASE-MCQ, the Center for Access to Services in English, Mauricie, Centre du Québec. You can go and check our website. I like meeting people. I like discussing with people. We're going to do this with our series of videos.
Hello, Aglaja. You've been telling me about many of your paintings. Could you tell me about
Yes.
one of these? Maybe this one.
When my daughter Clarissa, was in St. Pat's high school at the time, and in her last term, they went to dance with psychedelic lighting, and I was the chaperone. I was supposed as a parent, I chaperoned her,
Yes.
and while doing so, I took sketches sitting in my corner. I sketched individual couples, and at the time when I went home, I did a lot of drawing, so I put the sketches together into one composition, and as you see, I did it in diluted black ink, diluted to grey and to light grey, to indicate the turning of the psychedelic lighting.
It's very nice.
What interested me, or what struck me,
Yes.
was the difference in size of the partners. Tall boys who had to bend down, and small, slight partners, girls.
Aglaja, do you want to tell me a bit about your paintings, your drawings? No, these are drawings actually,
Yes.
aren't
These two pictures, I did one autumn in my back garden. It's the one with the wall, and I think materials are all important in the creation of a painting or drawing or work of art. And here it was oil pastels that we had for many years, and that I did quite a lot of drawings with, and also my children. We had them in a big box in the basement, and we all could help ourselves to them during the time we wanted to draw. And here it was autumn, and the garden was so beautiful in color. I don't exaggerate everything. I took the colors that I saw on top of the wall that held up our next part of the slope, and with the flowers and leaves, it gave that. And the second one is looking outwards at the plateau towards the Saint-Maurice from our house. And again, I just did what nature suggested.
Very nice. So you said there was a big box and everyone in the family could go.
It could help themselves to draw, yes, to draw or paint, and paint, I mean to color and make their composition. And it had been given to us by the artist, our great friend Anthony Polushinsky, who had drawn and colored decorations for the comité d'accueil au Néo-Canadien with those same colors when we had our opening of the comité d'accueil party.
Would you say you transmitted the love of art to your children?
Yes, well, they were born, my girls were born with the talent, artistic talent, which came through the centuries in our family. My relatives and ancestors, many of them were artists.
Would you like to show me maybe a piece of work that one of your children has done?
One of my children, well, I have just this. Did you see this? My daughter Corinna.
This is nice.
Did this in l'Atelier du Geste in 1992 in Montreal, when she was around 20 years old. And she also did this one that I like particularly, which is also from l'Atelier du Geste, when they were not doing concrete things, but to me it is a forest pond, a forest with a pond and its reflection.
So you did make your children love art.
Yes.
or transmit it.
And yes, love art and be good at art, be artistic. Not just looking at it, but themselves painting, drawing, expressing themselves through art.
Nice.
And my Danuta is a professional artist in Portugal, Danuta Wojciechowska in Lisbon, and has her own atelier, Lupa Design, it is called, where she lives for 35 years, married to a Portuguese, Nuno Rocha, and my daughter Corinna is also working as a professional artist besides teaching school to first class, early childhood in New Brunswick, in Quispamsis, and she has Chickadee Studio where she teaches children art in the evenings, in evening courses.
Very nice. And Oleg is a cement artist.
Not an artist, very much in contrast to that. He works at, he supervises the
cement plant.
Cement plant McInnes.
Yes.
McInnes in Port Daniel.
And I know you're very proud of your children. You tell me.
Yes.
You tell me a lot.
I am very, as I was told by the school principal after they left, you are lucky your children are intelligent.
Good. Aglaja, this is one of my favorites. Can you tell me a bit about this one?
Yes, this is a scene that we came to one evening on the beach of the Port Nazaré in Portugal. You see, it is evening. The fishermen have got their boats pulled onto the beach. It's a flat, sandy beach, not a cliff. And so the boats are in that place always pulled onto the sand to dock. In those days by bulls.
Okay.
By 3 at 3 behind each other in tandem. And nowadays, of course, surely by tractor. But this was in 1948, just after the Second World War, when my father was building the power plant dam in Cabril, the power plant dam Cabril on the Cesare River, as a Swiss engineer working in Portugal. I think it was Easter time of 48, 3 days holiday. We drove along the coast and came to Nazaré, and you see it sunset behind the boats. The sky is red, there is red, and the workers, the fishermen, were busily tidying up for the night. So, and I sat there. I was very intent on drawing and painting, and at that time I just made a watercolor, a very quick watercolor, and of course the children especially were moving, so I had to do it very fast. and so what the women and some of the men were doing was shelling beans for supper with fish. That was their supper, boiled fish and beans, dried beans, which they were shelling here in 2 big bowls.
But when you went there, were you planning on making a painting, or it's just the scene was so beautiful that it inspired you?
I was planning on, I had my colors with me, and my parents gave me time to sit down and do my thing while they walked around. And so the scene, I did it in, as I said, watercolor on the spot. And then when I came back home to Switzerland, I transferred it as a lithograph. So this is a lithograph, which means a different color for every stone. And in those days, you couldn't handle the stones yourself. You had to go to an atelier and have it done by workers, which was quite a process.
I guess.
And I thankfully was encouraged to do this by an artist friend who was doing his own work at the same time. He was doing his own picture, lithograph.
He was also getting it done. So.
It was Kurt Mantz, and yes, he was, of course, every artist had to get the work, the hands-on work done by two workers it took to lift those stones.
The big stones. Wow.
And prepare the surface. Well, that's how all lithographs, for instance, at the time
were done
by Chagall in Paris, were made.
Wow.
For each color, a stone. And so
that's this one. Thank you.
I did that.